Imagine you are walking in the woods. You hear birds chirping, the wind blowing through the leaves high in the trees, the smells, the sounds of a deeply wooded area. And you hear the tinkling of a brook, water splashing. So you move closer to it, and you see a little brook running through the woods, tripping over rocks as it goes, gurgling and bubbling and twisting. And it just all is so wonderful that you sit down with your back against a tree and you listen and you watch and you spend an afternoon listening and watching that little brook. That little brook is your aquarium. And truly it is no different than your aquarium. It is, after all, a living thing. It is alive. Every bit as alive as that little brook is alive. Let's look at that for a moment and try to understand what we really mean and what we really are trying to do when we talk about creating a natural aquarium. The little brook has so many parts to it. There's the water, there's the bottom, there are the banks, the plants growing near it and often into it, the little animals we may see darting around, and more than that, the leaves falling into it. Perhaps animals coming to drink from it. And the deeper we look, the more we see. And if we could look with eyes that could see the tiniest bits of life, it would be an endless parade of life. This is precisely what we want to try to set up in our aquarium. Now here's the process. In any natural environment, let's say, for example, someone dumps a bathtub off on the side of the road and they push it off into the grass or into a field, upright so it can gather rainwater, and it sits there day after day. Indeed, we're going to let it sit there year after year. For years it sits there. You saw it when you were a child and you've been back to it a few times, and now you're an old man and it's still there. And you go back to it occasionally and you look in it. My word, it has a tree growing out of it. It's half full of dirt. Where did all that come from? There's still water in it, and there are thousands tiny little creatures you can see darting about. There are plants of all types growing in it. It is a full living environment. How did it get that way? How did this bathtub become a living environment? Indeed, how does your aquarium become a living environment? Well, you can push the process along because you can bring things into the aquarium that nature might take years and years to gather together and bring into that bathtub. You can bring in some soil. That would be the first thing. some soil. And the best soil to begin with is soil from your backyard, soil that has life in it, that has microbes living in it. Oh, you can buy potting soil from the store, and I do that often enough, but it's pretty sterile stuff. The dirt from your yard has so much life in it. It doesn't need to be exclusively that, but at least, a couple of hands full, enough to be able to bring in what's living in your backyard and mix that in with your soil. So now you've got some life in there. You're going to cap it with sand, and the only reason for doing that, really, is to make it pleasant to look at. In addition, the sand does provide some benefits to the living system that are undeniable. So we're going to put some sand on top of that dirt, and then we're going to fill the whole thing with water. Now, what have we done? What have we done? We've created that bathtub that nature maybe has taken, oh golly, how long? Years to develop the soil that's blown in from it and been dropped in by leaves or whatever. Boy, we've done that rather quickly in a matter of minutes. We've done what nature might have taken 10 years to achieve. Well, we're playing gardener. Because when God created Adam and put him in the garden, he made him the gardener. So that was his job. And that's our job. That's what we are here to do, to be gardeners. So the little aquarium is really nothing more than our fulfilling our natural duty to create an environment where living creatures can grow and thrive. That's what a garden is, isn't it? And that's what our little aquarium is as well. It is a garden, and it needs to be treated as a garden, not as some sterile, unliving, clean, clear crystal water with not a microbe in it and a few fish that we think are pretty swimming around some plastic plants. That's not an aquarium. What is that exactly? It's kind of a memory, but a false memory. It's a dead thing. It is not a living thing. You can't put living animals in dead environments. Think about that. Do you really want to put living animals, these beautiful little fish, in a completely dead, sterile environment? How dreadful for them. And how impossible for them to be able to survive as healthy creatures. Oh, you can work your tail off trying to keep it from fouling. You can be pulling water out of it all the time, filtering it like mad, doing everything imaginable, dumping chemicals into it. I mean, my word, what else? But you're not going to be creating a living home for your fish. And isn't that what you really want? A living home. Well, nature has been doing it forever, and that's your job as a gardener, to create an environment where nature can do its thing. So let's do that, shall we? Let's create a living environment. God is in it. His rules are in it. His laws are in it. The processes he has established in this world are in it and active and dynamic. All we need to do is give it the few ingredients it needs for all of those processes to occur. So a little dirt, a little sand, and some water. Now what's next? Well, plants would be nice, some living plants. We can put them in there. Now, plants are funny things. Plants are able to survive in some pretty dire conditions. So that brand new little tank we've just set up with its raw dirt and water with no life in it, those plants are they're gonna help change things, is what they're gonna do. They're gonna help change things. They're gonna work with those microbes that you put in there from your backyard. They're gonna form a team, a joint effort, working together to build something. And they're gonna do it down below and in the water. You won't see it happening, but you will see the results. See, you don't have to do the actual work. Nature does all the work. All you do is provide the resources. You put together the materials. And the more materials you put together, the better it will be, the stronger and healthier it will be. So, your little aquarium now is going to begin to grow. We've put some plants in it, but it needs something else. It needs a couple of fish. I mean, the reality is the plants cannot survive without animals, because animals provide the nutrients that they need, just as the plants provide the nutrients the animals need. Oh my. Oh my. They can't live without each other. Think about that. They have to be in there together. Some plants, a few little fish. Now, you don't want to go throwing a whole lot of fish in there because, well, they won't be able to survive. There won't be enough of what they need, just simply enough oxygen in the water for them to be able to survive. Plus, the microbial life will not have developed enough to help break down their waste. There'll just be too many problems. So you want to start slow. Start slow. Be gentle. Be careful. Be kind. Be easy. Do this with patience and with your observational skills turned all the way up to 10, because you're going to spend your time watching, not doing. There's very little for you to do. There's a great deal for you to see. You can make minor changes if you want a plant moved from here to there, or something needs pruning or removing, or you can do all that. But don't go crazy with it. I mean, just be gentle. Let it become what it wants to become. And don't get panicky if something strange happens, like something white begins growing on the surface. Let it grow on the surface. That's part of the process. There are things going on you have no understanding of. Really, none of us do. We think we do. We try to understand. We do the best we can. But we're not really there. We're not down inside that doing what is being done. It's being done without our hand. It's being done without our awareness, even. So much goes on that we are utterly unaware of, that forms the foundation, the living force, the foundation of that little aquarium. Just let it do its thing. And trust that it's not going to kill itself. If you do way too much, you can kill it. You certainly can. But it's not going to kill itself. It does not contain the seeds of its own destruction. It simply does not. Nature, listen to this, hear this. Nature does not harbor the seeds of its own destruction. Quite the reverse. It uses death to bring about decay, to bring about new life. So there is a process. What we think of as something dying and how horrible is not horrible in nature. It is, in fact, necessary. Death is necessary in order to nurture new life. New life cannot grow unless something dies. So let it die, whatever it is. Don't kill it. My word, don't kill it. You don't need to do that. Life is short enough without taking a razor blade or a gun or a whatever. Start throwing chemicals in it. You want it to die, that'll do it. Don't put a thing in there that isn't natural. Nothing. Not one thing. No fertilizer. None. No chemicals. Not one. None. This is why the industry doesn't like me very much, because I don't like what they've done very much. They've turned this hobby on its head, turned it into something they can make money at, but that doesn't keep fish alive in an aquarium unless you bust your tail trying to follow their protocols. And why in the world would you want to do that? Why? When nature has already provided a perfect, absolutely perfect method for maintaining life in your little aquarium. That is nature at work. Do not believe these foolish people who say you can't have nature in an aquarium. What are you going to have in that? If not nature, then what? Something that doesn't exist on the earth? What? That's foolishness. Every environment, every little cup full of dirt is operating according to the laws of nature. Everything. Nothing is excluded from that, much less your little aquarium that you're trying to give the opportunity by bringing natural resources into it. Okay, so now you have something happening and you are observing. And you see all sorts of things going on. Or maybe for a long time you see nothing much going on. Doesn't matter. It is what it is. Let it be. Eventually you'll begin seeing new things happening. And you'll find new things you can add to it. Like leaf mulch. Oh my, what a wonderful resource leaf mulch is. Added to your little aquarium. Suddenly there's life you didn't even know was there. And you watch it and you observe it. And time goes by. Days, weeks, months, yes, years. Years go by. Still watching it, still looking, and still seeing things happening that really could not have happened before they did, because your tank is growing. It is maturing. The life in it is maturing, growing. Not only are the individual animals growing, but the whole biological system is growing. It's becoming sturdier, more stable, stronger, healthier, creating more diversity. My word. And you watch it, and it grows, and it changes, just as you grow and change. And you begin to see yourself in the aquarium because you begin to understand it is alive, just as you are alive. It is a home for countless creatures. And you take great joy in that. And it stays with you and lives with you and you with it, year after year after year. That is what these little aquariums are genuinely all about. Love you all. Bye for now.